Greetings. How's everyone? As she pulls up a knife. All right. Hi.
Hi.
Jesus
Hello.
Christ. How's it going?
Welcome. Welcome.
Let's just keep her on the good side. Anyway.
Welcome back.
We're back,
31
sorry.
days of horror movies.
Sorry, there's been a lengthy delay between between videos. It has just been. It's just, it's fucking harder to keep the commitment than I thought it was going to be. I was like, oh yeah, we're going to keep the schedule and we're going to do it.
Watching the movie is easy.
Oh yeah, but it's like getting
Watching
the time.
the movies is easy, but.
Yeah, and she has, she can't come on here. She's got to, she's got to beautify. She has her adoring audience that watches. My audience, on the other hand, I have a face for radio, so they don't really care what this looks like. So, anyway.
Here, let me fix that for you.
Yeah, just a little off the top. Oh, hurts.
Oh, man.
So today's movie selections.
We're up to day 20. Can you believe it? Day 20.
Day 20 is going to be, oddly enough, day 20. Don't get confused. It's 28 days later.
Yes.
And day 21 is The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. Number
What's
22.
That thing?
Number 22 is the Jeepity Creepity Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers. Where'd you get those?
I knew it was a bad idea. Like once I saw that, I'm like, this is going to be
Prop?
Like
it's bad for me to have prop.
It's bad for me, for you to have a prop. And number 23, Saw. Saw 1.
Saw 1.
What started
all the
torture
jiggity.
porn. So,
Oh no.
as I bang the table, every time I bang the table, if you see the shaking, I think I have stabilization on my phone.
It's an earthquake.
But if not, imagine it's an earthquake or make a drinking game out of it. Every time she touches her hair, I touch my face, or I drink one of these
It's a
tasty
nervous
beverages.
thing.
One of these tasty beverages? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Now, here is what I will recall about 28 days later. It is not a zombie movie. It is a rage
It's a rage
virus movie.
Yes.
Okay? I'm not a huge movie fan. I'm not a huge zombie fan, rage virus. So, this one, if you don't like those things, I don't know that you will like this movie. But let's get into it, shall we?
Yes.
It's a post-apocalyptic.
Yes, this rage virus starts off with, it looks like it's a lab. Got a bunch of monkeys everywhere. It's a good start. We're like, oh no, it's going to be like Monkey Shine. No, it's not Monkey Shine. It ends up being...
It's chimpanzee, right? It's chimpanzee experiment
being
lab.
experimented on. And so these animal rights activists were coming in to free the monkeys. Free the monkeys.
Yes.
Doing a good thing. But they didn't know that they were doing a good thing in a bad place because they didn't know that the monkeys were infected with something called
the virus.
Rage. With this thing called Rage. Even the doctor, he was like, they have rage.
They have rage.
They don't look like they have rage. They just look like they just look like monkeys having a good time in a cage. Caged up? I don't know. So anyway, so they
like
said
a rat in a cage.
one of the guys gets bit. Like he's trying to get in there, and he's like, "No!" Like the doctor's like, "Don't do that." Gets his hand bit. Too late. Now he's got the rage, and now he's
got the rage against the machine.
Now he's raging. He's raging and turning other people into ragers, and it's Rage Fest.
Yes,
and that's how the movie starts.
Yes, and because of them letting them out of the cage,
Right.
it's a disastrous.
Plus, with how it's like COVID, it was like that easy to get it, so it just spread worldwide so fast. Like we had no chance to fight this. It just took us over, and so it basically wiped out. Well, we'll find out it wiped out most of London. We have our guy Jim wakes up in the hospital. He's
wakes up from a coma.
Yeah, he wakes up from a coma. He was in an accident. He was a courier in London, which that's a dangerous
which he
job.
reveals a tiny bit later in the story.
So he got hit by a car.
Or movie.
He got hit by a car, and that's why he was in the hospital. He wakes up. There's nobody in the hospital. He's in bed.
Abandoned hospital. He's hooked up. He's naked. Some full frontal.
Not cool. But anyway, I felt like that served no purpose at all.
No purpose, none.
Um,
It just shows, I think, how vulnerable of a state he is in. I mean, he's naked, right? Not a stitch on him.
And what was cool is the hospital that they filmed that at is actually a hospital that's only open during the week. So during the weekends, it's emptied. So that's how they were able to film in there. They would rent it out.
Oh, cool.
to other
Oh, I
places.
didn't
So
know
that's
that.
how they did that.
Oh,
So-
wow.
So
Cool.
it looked like, you're like, how do you get a hospital to look like a hospital, a functioning hospital, but abandoned? That's how they did it. So
Oh,
it was
cool.
one of those, they do things different in other countries. So yeah, it's a hospital that's only open during the week.
It's the coolest part of the movie for me. The coolest part of the movie is Jim waking up in an abandoned hospital, Jim walking through the abandoned streets
Of
Of-
emptiness.
of London.
Yeah, so
It
it was really good
is spooky.
cinematography. It was really good cinematography.
It is spooky. It is spooky. And can you imagine if it were you waking up in that situation, not having a fucking idea what's going on? Ain't nobody around to even. Nobody was even there in the hospital to unhook him from the machines. I mean,
Right.
shit.
So Jim's walking around town. He's like picking up money, like he finds money and
Right,
stuff. He's
yeah.
just got this bag and
He
he's
tries
like,
to.
yeah, and
He
he's like,
tries
fuck
to get into a
yeah.
car. The car alarm goes
And
off.
he's like, fuck yeah. Well, he's like, I got all this money. You're like, fuck, dude,
Yeah.
I'm rich, but
Yeah.
it does no good because just nobody's answering. Which like crazy. We'll ask this question later. But where was everything? Because I would imagine
Right.
the cities were going to be the most densely populated. They'd be everywhere. But
Yeah.
anyway, so he's walking around. He finally
He goes
into a church.
Yes, the
and-
church.
And that
oh
was
my
a
God.
brutal one.
That has got I think, a very graphic scene. I mean, it's just piles of dead bodies in the church. I mean,
he took inspiration from Rwanda. I guess at that time there were some slaughterings going on, and they were all huddled up in the churches, and he remembered that. He wasn't going to use actual footage because he felt that was in bad taste.
the director.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he was like, that's where, most of the, like, anything that had to do with desecration of bodies or whatever, that was all staged. That was all acting. But yeah, that's what he took a lot of the inspiration for that shot, where people just were stacked
Yeah.
up, and that's where they went to find refuge, and not so much. So
Right. Well, that's where Jim went to find refuge himself.
It's so
but
funny, that's where
instead,
everybody goes.
yeah, instead he finds
he finds the infected.
the
and
infected. This is his first encounter with the infected as the priest is coming towards him.
shambling toward him, and yeah,
So their eyes, yeah, it's
they're
in the,
bloodshot. They're
Mhm.
beyond bloodshot.
And how does the virus transmit again?
If you get we'll find out later. It's very easy to get it. So, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
So basically, you can't get even a scratch on you. That's just don't let them touch you. That's basically Zombie 101. Don't let them touch you. You
Yeah.
don't want to get touched.
Yeah.
So now he's got them hot on his trail. He's fucking booking it. Boom, 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 boom. Some guys fucking they lob Molotovs.
Yeah,
and
he's
try to
hauling
save 'em.
ass through the streets. The zombie,
Yeah.
whatever we're calling
They're
them.
following. Yeah,
They're
the Ragers.
following
The
him.
Ragers are coming behind him, and he gets helped by some survivors. Some survivors actually see him. They
Yeah.
throw Molotovs. They try to get them off of him, and I think a couple of them go down. They actually got ate. A couple of the guys, I think.
Yeah.
And they were at the gas station. They caused a big explosion there, which was kind of cool.
Oh yes, you get to see just like on the scale of things,
boom,
you know,
yeah,
the
the pull out.
destruction too
Yeah,
of
the pull out
the
of the
city.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Go inside. We have a couple of survivors. We have
Selena and Mark
Yeah.
rescue Jim and update him on the horrors of the mass carnage as all of London tore itself apart
Right,
during the virus.
Basically, there was nowhere
Outbreak.
to. It was a kind of nowhere to hide kind of thing. Like once the virus started spreading, it spread so fast. Like I said, nobody knew what to do, and it was just
Yeah,
yeah. Obviously, people were going to church to try and find refuge.
yeah.
There was no communications with the outside world. Communications went down very fast. So nobody knows anything about any kind
And
of
they're
rescue
just
efforts.
yeah, the three of them, they're just there in this abandoned gas station, right? And
Yeah.
he tells them, I got to go find my parents. I've got to go to whatever town, just wherever I can walk myself. They say
we
no.
just came from there. And
We'll go with you. Yeah, oh yes,
Yeah, we
this,
just
she
came from
tells
there.
him, I'm
It's
sorry,
no-
your parents are
they're
dead. They're
not
dead.
there. They're not
They're dead.
there. And he's like, well, what would you do?
Yeah.
And he's like, and then they decided to accompany him there, and so they get to the house, and the grisly scene of the bedroom. That was
Right.
really,
So it's not
really
that they have
macabre.
been killed by the virus. It's not.
They killed themselves.
They killed themselves. And this is while he was in the coma.
Right.
So they thought he was just gonna die in that coma. They were gonna kill themselves.
We'll see you soon, basically.
And they were like, please don't wake up. And
Yeah.
what did he do? He
Yeah.
woke the
He
fuck
woke
up.
Please don't wake up.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. It was almost like one of those like Romeo and Juliet things where, as soon as she thinks he's dead. Yeah. But I just found that very, very sad. Sad for him. He has a moment.
Then he's sad, and they're gonna stay in the house. And they stay in the house, and he's kind of having some memories, some flashbacks. He's
Yeah.
got a fucking candle, which is a bad idea, because that, of course, attracts the Ragers.
That attracted the Ragers.
Boom, right through the window. I mean, it's a quiet moment, too, so it's set up perfect.
Yeah.
They did this a lot throughout the movie. They set up these things and gave you a payoff a little bit.
That jump scare, right?
So when it crashes through the window, I mean, it's just, and it's on him, and it's just like, you have seconds to think, and he's not even weaponized. He has nothing, so.
Right. And
And
you can't get bit. You can't
And
get.
she comes in and just fucking mollywops the dude, but Homeboy tries to come in and help too.
Yeah. Mark.
But poor Mark.
Mark gets bitten.
Mark got bit, and he didn't want to say anything, and fucking she came up and just
Selena comes
did
up
him out.
and she, asks, did you get bit, Mark? Did you get bit? And she just comes straight at him. She's
No
saying,
thoughts.
Selena, no,
2
but
seconds.
she comes straight
Yeah.
at him and she just hacks him the hell to pieces. Her buddy, she's been
she-
traveling with him for we don't know how long, but he was
She's
like her
only
buddy.
ever
But
survivor, yeah.
she said, no, if you are infected, I won't think twice.
Yeah, said that to Jim.
Yeah,
And
to
said
Jim.
like, I will do that to you, no question.
So now we've got Jim and Selena. They're on the move.
Uh-huh.
And they see like Christmas lights,
Oh yeah, there's some blinking lights, looking like somebody's like doing some Morse code almost. Like somebody
yeah.
knew they were set
There's
up
more
to blink.
survivors.
Yeah.
It was a survivor.
So they were drawn to that like moths to a flame. They got there,
Yeah.
but the fucking dead are hot on their trails, and they're fucking going up the stairs. And
Well, it's all booby trapped. It's like a hotel or
They set it up like that.
I mean, an
And it's-
apartment complex, but it's all
they
booby
took
trapped.
they took all the shopping carts and just stacked them as high as they could stack them to keep them from getting in there, but they could still get in.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
so they're in the stairwell now, getting chased by the Deddies and by the Ragers. Sorry, they're not Deddies. And they get up to the top, and fucking a dude tells them to come inside. Comes inside. He's in like full riot gear too. I don't know where he got that from, but he had a shield, a helmet, the whole bit.
Yeah, he was set.
And he took care of the one or two of them, I think, and then fucking closed the door while Jim and what's her name? I always forget.
Oh, Selena.
Selena, Jim and Selena. That's an odd exotic name.
Yeah,
I like
Selena.
I like that. But yeah, those two.
Selena.
They're like, open the fucking door, open the fucking door. And the little girl's like, no, where's my dad? Where's my dad? I'm like, dude, fuck you, open this door, dude. We're like about to die out here.
Yeah.
And finally the dad comes, says, open the door. Takes off the riot gear. It's not what you think. Like, I thought it was just gonna be some one-eyed patch to like, you know what I mean? Like, so you say you want to survive, huh? we've been surviving on poop and urine for 2 days. Oh.
So this is where we meet Frank and his daughter Hannah.
Yes.
And they are survivors, but they have heard of where the military is offering protection, and they tell Selena and Jim, follow us, come with us.
Yep.
That's where we're headed.
Right. And so they spend the night, they have a drink with old dad, and even the little girl has a drink too, I think, because what the fuck, right? You know? Like, what is she going to be, an alcoholic? We're not going to have alcohol, like, you know?
Right. Let the little girl take the edge off.
Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't little. She, I would say, is probably close to 18, maybe.
Yes. And then Yeah, so they start realizing that supplies they're getting down.
Yeah.
Water's going down, food's going down. There hasn't been any kind of rain, so they haven't been able to even collect water.
Right.
So they gotta get going. They gotta go find some shit.
So they're looking for the blockade.
Yeah.
And there's no blockade. They get to where they thought would be military offering protection at a blockade, and there is no.
It was a blockade, but it was torn down. I mean, it was taken out.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no blockade. There was still remnants of it, but there was nobody there, and they were starting to shit themselves that, well, fuck, now what?
So yeah, they sat there, they kind of struggled to figure out, what are we going to do now?
And the dad goes off on his own and starts looking around, and he looks up randomly and catches a drop of blood of the infected in his eye. And that is how fast, that's how easy it is to get infected. One drop in his eye, and he started freaking out instantly. Because he already knew he was going to change, and so he came over and told his daughter, like, I love you very much. Get back, and he just starts tweaking. You can tell he's gonna change.
Yeah.
He's about to turn.
And next thing you know, the military pops out of nowhere.
Yeah, they were just like, get down, but boom.
Takes down Frank.
Yeah, just blah, 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 blah. Light him up, he's down. The kid's freaking out. She just wants to get lit up, so. And
now the military takes the three of them, right? Jim, Hannah, and Selena, to their camp.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the camp is kind of off in the country, from what I can tell. They're totally secluded, and they have this like kind of perimeter set up around. Like they've got like some guys with, they got guns and shit. They're ready to go. If they look like they've been hunkered there for a little while.
Yes.
And so
we slowly start to figure out that the military is not there to help. The military is not there to help. The military is in fact corrupt. And they want to enslave women.
By one way or another, like they stay there, I think, for half a day, and they find out this shit. They find out how crooked they are and like what they're doing. They're keeping an eye on them all the time, and then for some reason, Jim gets like belted in the head. Right, he gets like taken away somewhere, and so now the girls are gonna get used. Basically, that got a red dress.
So they're going to use them as sex slaves to repopulate basically.
They haven't even gotten to the point where they know anything else is going on. They just want to start fucking and repopulating. They don't even want to know where the next meal's coming from.
Men, right?
Anyway,
they just want to get
going, in and out. So anyway, so they're there. This place is like fucked up. They're also fucking with the dead too, or the Ragers. They've got one hooked up to a chain, which is really fucked up. Like, so that just shows you, like, even though like you feel bad for them, it's like, yeah, they're fucking raged, but they're diseased. They need to be just put.
But it was one of their, one of their fellow military people.
Still fucked up. Though. It was still really fucked up.
Yeah, because they were keeping it like a pet. Right? So Jim, he breaks out, right? They try to kill Jim, and he breaks out.
Yeah.
Of the camp.
Right. And then, so he breaks out. They lose track of him, and he's off on his own for a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll lose track of them. The two girls are still there, unfortunately, and this is the night they're going to get raped, unfortunately. So they've already got dresses on them, which was gross. Even the little girl had a dress. And I think Selena was like, take these. Like, she had found some drugs or something, and she was just like, take these or drink this. Just drink this, and just you won't feel anything. Just, just lay there and let it go. I was like, damn, that's awful when that's the best thing you can give her is, but you don't want to be there for that. So that was just awful.
Yeah.
But our boy Jim comes back, and he comes back with a vengeance. Like, he ends up fucking cutting that one fucker loose, the one's Rager.
Yep.
So he gets to go have his fun, gets to go fuck with them. And then Jim's like climbing around on the building, Spider-Man style, and fucking spots the chicks, gets into the window, and fucking saves both of them. It's like a struggle and shit. And
saves the day.
Yeah, he's a fucking savage, saves the day, no rape happening. They end up getting in the car. the last dude, whatever, the main asshole is trying to get them, and
Yeah.
the Rager, the loose Rager, sorry, came through and fucking grabbed him as he was going through the back window, pulled him out, and they go scooting off. You're like, oh, they're free.
Yes.
They're free.
Yes.
I also forgot, like, Jim got hurt in the middle of all that, too. Like, he got fucked up. So he's, like, really injured. I think he got shot. I'm not entirely positive, but they come to the fucking gate, and the gate's locked. And they gotta get through. So they fucking just haul ass, and you just see them scream. Boom. Contact happens, and then it just goes white. And that's it. And then it says, like, something like 3 weeks later or something like that. Jim's just kind of waking up in, like, a house or in a bed or something somewhere. He's got a bed, and he's fixed up. Kind of hear a sewing machine in the background a little bit. You're like, the fuck is going on? And fucking Selena's out there fucking sewing something. You're like, I don't know what the fuck that is. And the little girl comes back and says she heard, she can hear something. She hears something coming. And so they're like running really quick to pull it outside at this big thing that they're working on, and end up saying hello. They were trying to get the jets to stop for them because... well, the dead were already started. Well, the Ragers were starting to die off because there was no food. Excuse me. So you can drink again. That's 2 drinks for a burp. 1 for touching my face or her doing her hair thing. So anyway.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the end of the movies. Basically, they dragged it out. It was hello, and we don't know if they actually made it out of there or not. Because the last thing they said was, "Do you think they saw us this time?" So we don't actually know if they made it out of there. So, and the second one doesn't really follow up on it. It goes in a different direction because it's 28 weeks later. So,
and I have not seen 28 weeks later.
So it's kind of a bummer that it doesn't follow this story up. Kind of sucks.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, 28 days later, what are you giving it?
I'm trying to think at the time, like. This is right when zombies were just starting to get cool. I'd say it's a strong... I'd say... Okay, I will give it a 5.
I was going to give it a 3, okay?
I'm going to give it a 5.
Moving on, our next movie. Day 21. The Thing.
The Thing.
John Carpenter.
John Carpenter's The
Thing. The Thing. Kurt Russell.
Based loosely off of It Came from Outer Space, or The Thing from Outer Space from 1951. It was loosely based on that.
Okay.
John Carpenter got like Wilford Brimley, Kurt Russell, Keith David. This is a pretty star-studded cast that he got together.
And what year was this?
This was 1982.
1982. So this is, it starts off with American research scientists in Antarctica.
Yes. Suddenly it's getting buzzed by a helicopter. And they're chasing after this dog.
Yeah,
why are they fucking
the
chasing
dog.
after this dog? They're not just chasing after it, they start shooting at it.
You know how I feel about that.
I didn't like it either.
And
it's
he
a
can't
beautiful,
hit the dog.
It's a beautiful husky, too. It's, like, beautiful.
He's shooting at it, but he can't even hit it.
Dog.
His shooting thoughts.
They start throwing grenades at it. Which I was like, wow. I'm like, this has escalated quickly. Went from, like, rounds to fucking grenades, explosives. Okay. There's something fucked up with this dog. We don't know what it is, but they want this fucking dog dead for some reason. Well, they follow it to this place, this research facility. The helicopter drops down. They're trying to yell at the American Antarctic group, but they can't understand them because they're speaking fucking Russian or some shit.
Yeah.
So they can't understand them at all. And so they're just trying to tell them what's going on, but they can't understand. Communication breakdown. The guy's about to throw another grenade and he falls backwards with the grenade, blows up the fucking helicopter. The other guy that was left with the gun gets taken down by the other Americans. And so the dog is safe. And we're like, yay, fuck those guys, right? Like,
yeah, the dog is safe.
Fuck you guys. Yeah.
And all the scientists, they take the dog in. They had other huskies.
They take it in. They had other huskies on site.
Yeah, they take him in, and next thing you know, weird shit starts to happen.
Weird shit starts to happen in the kennel. The kennel starts to come alive with some sounds, like some really weird sounds. And the guy that normally watches them, I always had their names memorized. So I can't remember yours. Clark. Clark is the kennel
Clark.
guy.
We have R.J. MacReady.
Oh yeah, MacReady. God damn it,
That's
MacReady.
Kurt Russell's character.
MacReady.
We have Childs, Dr. Blair,
Keith
Clark,
David,
Palmer, Gary, Vance, George,
Yeah, Dr. Vance Norris.
Dr.
Yeah.
Cooper.
So yeah, the dogs are down there, and we have Clark overseeing it. Comes downstairs, and the dogs are being attacked by some thing.
A thing. Get it?
Anyway, so yeah, it's a thing. It's going at the dogs. The dogs are fucking freaking out. He starts freaking out, telling everybody to get the fuck down there immediately. They start opening fire on it. They set it on fire with the flamethrower. Half of it fucking escapes out the top. Just like crazy, it split off.
Yeah.
So that was like totally nuts.
And then the people start to. One of the doctors starts to go a little wackadoo, and they walk him out.
Well, that's
first,
right?
That's first.
That's way late. Well, yeah. So what happens after that is they set it on fire and they try to figure out what the fuck, like, what happened, like, why is this thing here and why were they chasing after it? So they went back to their research facility to figure out what happened, and their place was fucking ripped up, blown apart, dead bodies everywhere. There was an axe in the wall. One of the guy's survivors had barricaded himself in a room, and he literally slit his throat and his wrists.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whatever the fuck was attacking...
happened there...
Whatever was attacking them was pretty fucked up.
It was fucked up.
Come to find out that they were researching a spaceship.
That's it.
That was in the Antarctic that had been there for hundreds of thousands of years. They don't actually know how long it had been there. It had been there forever.
Yeah.
And they had taken a specimen out of it. And this specimen apparently is one that can mimic anything that it touches. Like, it really just touches.
Yes.
So it can mimic any living organism. And so
it can assume the shape of its victims. Like a shapeshifter.
And it can infect. It's just as infective as 28 Days Later, just like the rage virus.
Right.
The thing can infect you that quickly. Paranoia starts to set in throughout.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's kind of leery of everybody, and I know we're gonna gloss over a lot of things. I'm not gonna go over a great detail because the thing is, like, if you haven't watched it, get out from under the rock you live under and go see the fucking movie because
you really have to.
Yeah, this is gold. Like,
spend an hour.
John Carpenter is fucking. This is an amazing. This is almost what is it? It's a little long. I thought it was an hour and a half. Sorry, I'm going backwards. But yeah, spend an hour and a half. Like, it's a really good movie. Hour and 49 minutes, but it doesn't feel like it.
The best part of the movie, spoiler alert, is when he goes to do that shock. A shock to the body.
Oh yeah,
and his hands go straight
through.
When he went
to go fibrillator the guy.
We finally get to see
his arms got chopped off.
The thing.
Yeah.
We finally get to see what the thing is.
And the special effects were amazing. Like, I'm pretty amazing for 1982. Like, I still remember this, and that freaked me out. All the transformations this thing did was fucking crazy. And then...
Yeah, for me, I was like, what the H? Why does it have to look like that?
Yeah, like, and when they're doing the blood test, which is, like, totally intense, because that's when paranoia is, like, at its highest. And MacReady's armed with dynamite. And he's like, I'll blow myself up and all you motherfuckers, I don't care.
Yes.
They were doing research, so one of the guys did research and figured out if this thing made it out of here, and the planet would be overtaken within a matter of days. Like, it was, I think it said 42 days would be total infection.
Yeah.
They were just like, we have to kill this. It has to stop here. It stops tonight. What do they say in Halloween?
He dies
He
tonight.
dies tonight. It dies tonight.
Yeah, but in that scene, his head comes off.
Yeah. Oh, when the
His
head's
head
crawling
comes
on the
off
ground.
and it like crawling on
Crawls
the
the
ground,
legs,
and
yeah.
they're all just like in shock, and then trying to shoot it again with
with
fire,
the flamethrower, which is
flamethrower.
misfiring, and yeah. So the intense scene with them doing the blood test and them finding out who it actually was, when it actually jumps out, it's fucking crazy. Like,
Yeah.
because it's an organism. The whole thing, all of its blood is an organism, so it defends itself. So it was trying to get away from the heat.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And then he just starts freaking out, and then just, oh my god! And it's just.
It is a scene.
So
it
well
is
done.
a scene that is very Carpenter.
Yeah, and then it just builds up to this ending that's. It's totally intense because it's so over the top. They're just like, we're gonna blow this whole fucking place up. We have to blow this place up. And there's only at the one point, you think there's only one.
Oh, so they realize that the one thing that this beast or monster can not duplicate is metal.
Metal, yeah.
So if you have fillings in your mouth, that they would not be able to duplicate that.
Right.
And so the test was to. Oh, what else was it? Something with the blood too, right?
The blood. That's why I said the blood test. That was where they were putting them in the petri dishes, and they were, if it touched it, the hot metal touched it. Mm-hmm. They heated the metal, and it would react. The blood would react because it's trying to defend itself.
Yeah, so. And that's also like a gross scene where they're actually like tied together and being blood tested, and
as each one passes, he gives them a weapon, and it's like, okay, you're not the thing. Okay, you're not the thing. And then as soon as they figure out who's the thing, it starts freaking out and fucking goes up to the ceiling, and fucking that shit was just crazy.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy movie.
So it works up to an ending it's very epic and just kind of like,
yeah.
You're like, man, you feel really bad for the end couple of guys because, spoiler alert, there's only like 2 guys left at the end. There's an entire research facility and there's only 2 guys left. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, the thing is like a 9 for me. It's golden. I absolutely love this movie, and I could jump into it at any point, and it still freaks me out.
Basically, it's a survival movie, right? It's a survival movie.
It's a survival movie, but it's got some horror aspects of it. Of like, it falls into almost the same category as Alien.
Yeah.
Alien isn't a straight
horror
movie.
It's
not a straight horror movie. It's a sci-fi movie that has horror aspects of it. So
I'm gonna give it a 5, 5.6. Okay, a 6.
Yeah, this is golden for me. I put this. If I have to do Halloween, the Thing's on it.
Yeah.
I like the horror, and the special effects were just amazing in it. So
yeah. Oh, hello. Ring, ding, ding, ding.
And as a tradition, British Antarctic research stations still to this day watch the Thing.
Really?
Yes, it's part of their midwinter feast and celebration every June 21st.
Wow.
They watch the Thing.
Oh wow.
So, yeah. Anyway. Useless movie facts.
Pause break. Our next movie, day, 22? 22. Day 22 is Jeepers Creepers. Justin Long.
Justin Long. Victor Salva directed it. Victor Salva before this did Powder. I tried to say that with a straight face, but he did Powder. So he's had the Jeepers Creepers franchise and Powder.
Okay. All right.
I don't have Powder.
Well, the Jeepers Creepers franchise is making some money.
I don't have Powder.
Because they're coming out with the new Jeepers Creepers Rebirth, I think, is going to be released this month or within the next month or 2. Jeepers Creepers is a brother and sister. We have Derry and Trish. They are making their way on a road trip back from college to their parents' house, and it turns into a race for their lives.
How it turns into a race for their lives, I have no idea. They were rolling along, and everything was fine.
They're driving in just a 2-lane highway.
Bumfuck nowhere.
Bumfuck nowhere.
Why are we there?
No. Yep. And they become taunted by this giant truck, souped up truck with a license plate
It's not
of
a truck. It's like a delivery truck. It looked like a bread truck, like a converted bread truck, or like a shortened fucking UPS truck. I mean, it was nothing. It wasn't really a truck. It just looked old.
it was
Nasty.
old and beat up, but it was
It's
super
souped
fast.
up. Yeah, that guy put some nitrous or something.
What was the license plate? Beating you, eating you,
or something? Yeah.
eating you.
was
So
cute.
he comes up super fast behind them, and they're just chatting along, just driving along, like kind of Sunday driving, and then
This
next
guy's
thing you
coming
know,
right up on our ass.
bum, bum, he starts honking the horn, and
Yeah.
they're trying to get out of the way, but he's just swerving with them, and
Right.
it's just like this whole, I'm like, this is the part that irritates the crap out of me.
Right.
Because I would have just slammed on my fucking brakes and
Let him plow right
and,
into you. Oh, okay, yeah. So that's me too.
like,
but,
fuck
yeah.
you, dude. Now you can fucking paint.
Those are like the guys like that are behind
I'll
you.
sue you.
The guys that are behind you with their high beams on.
Oh,
I just wanna
yeah.
Slam. It's just, yeah. I could turn those lights out real quick. So yeah. So he ends up fucking just getting around them. They kind of careen off the road. a
Yeah,
little
they're
bit.
just like, what the hell? Like,
Right.
this fucking creepy. He's like, inbreeding.
Yeah, right. Like, and they can't really see him either because I guess he's got some tinting or something. I don't know. The sun's hitting it just right. So.
And as they're driving along, they actually see him pull
He's pulled into a farm.
it's actually an old church.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Church. Okay, so they pulled into this old church,
Yes.
and looks like he's taking some stuff out of his van and putting it somewhere. There's a
Dropping
little
it
hole.
down this
There's a hole.
this well
There's a
that
little
leads
hole
to the
that
basement of the church.
Right.
And what do they get curious? A little too
They
curious.
kept staring at him, and Homeboy realized that they were staring at him, and he quickly jumps into his little rape van and goes right after him, and he's right on their ass again.
Yeah.
And this time he does like he hits them a couple times. Does he get them off the road then, or they get to that place, right? They get to the
Well, they go and they find
right,
where he's been dumping the bodies.
right,
And we say him because we don't really know what him or it is
Right.
yet.
right.
But it's
You're balking. You're like it's Okay, so they go to the farm. There's the hole.
it's not a farm.
The
It's
church,
church.
it's a fucking church. But they go down, there's this hole there, there's a pipe, and it leads somewhere. And Justin Long, he wants to fucking...
Yes, Derry, his character.
Yeah, he wants to go feet first or head first in this fucking thing to see, there's somebody down there,
Yes.
And his stupid bitch girlfriend or sister is like holding his feet, and he fucking falls in. And it's like,
He
"Oh,
says,
no."
rat, rat, and everyone
Yeah, so he's
freaks
freaking
out.
like a bitch, and like, yeah, so he falls down. He's now in this fucking area, and he starts realizing he's in the 7th layer of hell because there's fucking the 16 chapel of bodies up above him.
And they had just talked about this. I don't know if it was an urban legend or just the fact that this girl that they knew from high school had gone missing. Her and her boyfriend had gone missing and had never been found, and that was, 23 years ago.
Correct.
So he says while he was down there, he sees the body of this girl and
Yeah.
that they were stitched together on the walls.
Oh, yeah, the class ring. Homeboy had the class ring.
Yes, the glass ring. So he's sure he knew that it was them. He comes out of the basement and he is like shell shocked. He
He has extreme post-traumatic, like,
yeah.
he's literally mute. He's staring off into
Catatonic.
nothing. He's staring off into nothing. He's not talking. He's not
Yeah,
there.
Trish is like, you're scaring the hell out of me, Derry.
Right.
Like, what is going on? What did you see?
Right.
They finally get to this little diner, little gas station, whatever it was. We need to call the police. They were saying somebody's been hurt.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a murder, or somebody's been hurt.
You need to get out to the old church
Mhm.
right now. Like,
Mhm.
just go there. Just go. And everybody's like, it's abandoned. Like, why are we going to go out there? There's nothing going on out there. They're just passing it off. Because this, again, it's the old thing of they're in a town and they're townies and they can tell that they're townies. And now they're probably thinking they're on drugs or something. So they're not even listening to what they have to say. But they're
Right.
like, for shit to go, why don't you just go out there anyway? Just go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then what ends up
But
happening-
then the phone rings. The little payphone inside the restaurant rings, and it is this woman. She's speaking. Have you seen the cats yet? Have you seen the cats? And then she describes, Derry's tattoo, a little rose tattoo above his belly button, and how do you know my name, and how do you know my brother, and it's just
they know very specifics.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and they still looking everywhere in this diner, and they're not anywhere to be seen.
Right. So then the police show up, right? And he tells his story, and he looks to his sister and he says, "You do believe me, don't you?" And tell me you believe me,
She just
Trish.
stares at him with these fucking bro, we're related.
Yeah.
But this is a little bit more than I can believe. It's like a Sistine Chapel of bodies. Didn't he say that too? He said that it was just
that's exactly what he called it. Yeah.
So
I mean, I would have called it like a patchwork of people pasted to the walls, like wallpaper.
Right.
And then everyone in the diner is like rushing to the windows of the diner, and they're like, "Hey, that's your car over there, right?"
Right. And they come out and
they say,
"Yeah,
there's somebody over there."
They're creeping around your car, and they go to the car, and his clothes has been ripped
says,
out of
and
his
he
car.
was sniffing your clothes over there.
To really like it,
and it looked like he was liking it too.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Great, that's just fucking great, Now he knows my name because I guess he wrote his name in his undies." And his clothes are outside, all on the ground, and he's picking them up, just irate. "Oh, do you want a fingerprint? Interested in a fingerprint?" To the police, little podunk police, and they say, "Well, follow us to the police station."
Right.
So they are trailing the police in their car.
Right. And then Jeepy boy, I don't even know what to call the thing, but
Jeepers Creepers.
The creeper.
That song comes on, right?
It comes on because they're flipping around the dial for whatever reason, because we need to listen to music right now, even though we're freaking out about dead people.
I think he was looking for it because the psychic on the phone said, if you hear if you hear that song, you run.
Right.
You run.
Right.
Yeah, because he's coming.
So they heard the song. They were flipping around. He heard the song. Told her to go back, and it was the song. That's the song. That's the song.
And they're kind of arguing about the song, or she doesn't understand why the song is important. The cops are trailing them,
before
right?
they can even think about it, fucking the Jeeper dude is on top of the fucking cop car.
Well, they see the cop car veer.
Yeah, because the cop car, the creeper has taken the one dude's head off. Fucking, he went up and poked his head out, and I think he got just pulled out. The chick did.
Yeah.
And then
the cop.
And then the other one. And then he just punches through. Car stops. They're like, "What the fuck?" They go back. Obviously, the cops are fucking dead. They've been shredded by the creeper.
Mm-hmm. They are in shock because, honestly, they don't really. I thought they didn't see what happened. They just saw that the car veered and stopped.
Yeah.
So they get out of their car and they're like, "Hello." Hello, and then Derry is saying, "Trish, get back in the car. Get back in the car, Trish," because he starts to see that it is the Jeepers Creepers creature or demon, because we can say that we've established that it's an ancient, mysterious demon that needs to eat organs from humans to stay alive every 23 years when it can come back to feed.
Yeah.
They see it, and he picks up the head of the decapitated police officer, pulls out its tongue.
Yeah, it's fucking with it.
With the head.
It was just very,
and meanwhile, the two, Derry, they're in the car, they're just going, "Oh, fuck, go, go, go." And you see her, they're driving this old piece of shit. What kind of car was it? A piece of shit car, that's what it was. And she couldn't get the gears to get her. She grinding those fucking gears. Trying to get it to go in reverse and go forward. She wants to run it over, so she runs it over a couple times, and they really are like, "What the fuck is this thing?"
Right.
They see that it's it is not human. This is not human.
Right.
And they're fleeing. Once again, they're fleeing from this thing. They're on the road. They are going as fast as they can. and they come up on the little farmhouse, right? A little farmhouse, and they're approaching, and they're saying, you know, is there any way we can use your phone, ma'am, please?
Oh yeah, and this
We
is
need
the lady
help.
with the cats. Yeah.
And when they start seeing, like, yeah, the cats slowly start one by
Freaking
one,
out.
like coming out of the shadows, you know. And she says, well, how many cats do you have? Or no, he says that. And she says,
few.
"Oh, a few. But she says that they, you know, we want to call the cops, and she is like, I don't want the cops out here. They try to tell me
I have too many
how
cats.
many damn cats I can own. And I'll own as many cats as I want to own, she says. And then she asked, did you bring anybody with you, hon?
Yeah.
And they both are like, no. And it kind of shows over to the scarecrow, and it's not a scarecrow.
No, that's Homeboy. That's the creep.
And the cats start going.
Freaking out. And they look back, and he's gone. And it's like, oh, shit. And she's like, she already had a shotgun. So.
No, she said, don't make me ask. She says, get
Don't
going and don't make me ask twice.
Right.
And then she popped it, and right as she did, it went, ooh, like,
Boom.
no, and he like flew into her house somehow.
Yeah.
He like into her house, and she thought he was killing her cats, so she had to run in there and save her cats, and she gets.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, all you heard was the 2 shotgun blasts.
Yeah.
And then they tried to call into the house, and that's how they found out that she was dead. So she did.
She did, and they hauling ass, and they are running again.
One of the premonitions of that chick, whoever called them, is coming true. So whoever this is a fucking clairvoyant and knows what's happening before it's happening. So
yeah. What's this woman's name? I just can't remember what her name is. The
old lady?
The psychic. Yeah.
Oh,
so
one
finally, they make it to the police station, right? And as soon as they get to the police station, the psychic is there, and she's like, Derry and Trish, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, what? How do you know our name? You know, and she was like, trying to say, you know,
that's where they know.
I'm trying to help you, but my visions only show me certain things, and they're not in order, and I don't know.
Jez.
Her name's Jez.
Yeah.
Jez. And I don't know really, you know. She was kind of like confused herself. She didn't really know what it meant, but she knew that it was some sort of demon, and it eats eyes to see, it eats lungs to breathe.
And plus, Derry realized that there was also a missing persons board in there too that had a bunch of missing
all the
people
missing
and
people from the town, and this thing has now chosen Derry and Trish. It is actively pursuing them now, 100%. Because it has something that it wants. You know.
So Jez basically explains the creeper. She understands what it is.
She explains the demon.
Every 23rd of spring, the creeper gets to eat. He's allowed to eat for 23 days.
Yes.
So
every 23 years.
Yeah. So.
And in that time, like we said, it just eats organs.
So the creeper ends up showing up, and. Damn, what else happens? Like, that part becomes... I was, like, crying.
Well, yes, it shows up. It shows up at the police station, and the police are saying, don't you worry. Nothing's going to get in here. Nothing's going to hurt you here. And next thing you know, the lights go out, and they go downstairs to turn, you know, like the backups come on, and one guy goes downstairs, and he sees that an inmate is being... is being eaten. Something is being... An organ is being taken from him, and that starts just the mad police shootout trying to kill the creeper, the Jeepers Creepers, the demon. And of course, the stupid Derry and Trish and the damn psychic woman, they all run to a dead end, or they run somewhere where they have no outlet.
Right.
They're literally trapped at a dead end, and the Jeepers Creepers is coming.
Right. Yeah, he approaches the cell. 2 inmates are huddled in one fight. Like, yeah, that looked... I totally forgot about that part of it. I think I might have fallen asleep. I'm notorious for falling asleep. That's, like, the worst thing about me. Like, And this was one that I hadn't seen a bunch of times either, so I really needed to familiarize myself. And I think I always fall asleep at the same time. I don't know if you're one of those people who fall asleep at the same time during a movie.
And it's literally the very, very end of the movie, too.
Right,
Because
right.
she corners them, and it looks like he's going to take Derry, but she's begging him to take her.
Right. But he really wants Derry.
But he really wants Derry.
Yeah, he sniffed his clothes the hardest.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And he basically grabs Derry, jumps out the window, flies away into the night,
Yeah.
and we're left there basically with Trish
Yeah.
at a
So
loss,
at
just
a
looking up at the sky where he's now disappeared into the night.
Yeah, and we hear the Jeepers Creepers song playing.
We hear the Jeepers Creepers, yeah.
Yeah, so that's...
And then
So
we
it's-
see an old factory. It
Yeah.
fades. So the poor sister, it looks like she's waiting for her parents at the police station. Well,
Yeah.
that's the very end that we see of Trish. And then it goes to the old factory where we hear Darius screaming and crying. In the background, we hear the Jeepers Creepers song.
This is fucked up. In the background, we hear the Jeepers Creepers song playing on the old phonograph.
Mm-hmm.
The creeper seems to be sewing something together, and we see that Derry's body is strung up, and his eyes have been removed, and the creeper is using them as his own.
Yes. It's very
Fuck.
creepy.
So, a good series.
I would have liked to have seen more of that, but
Yeah.
it was more PG, I think. Is it PG? PG-13?
Oh, fuck no. That Jeepers Creepers? No way.
Yeah. Or is it rated R?
I mean, there's blood and shit in here. Like,
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, what are we giving Jeepers Creepers?
yeah.
This was one of the movies I originally wanted to, I wanted to change out. And I've actually just come to accept the list. We've now followed the list 100%, I think, except for 2
Right.
movies that we switched out.
Right.
I give it like a 3.
I gave it like a 4, like 3, 4. I mean, it's
No
okay.
offense,
Yeah, it's
because
rated
it's a...
R. It's rated
Oh,
R.
it is rated R.
Yeah,
Okay.
brief nudity, terror, violence. Oh, yeah, because the... Yeah,
Oh, because of the dead people.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
rated
there's a lot
R
of
anyway.
blood, too. Yeah, there's decapitations. What are we talking about?
I don't know.
The one
I
cop
found
got
it
decapitated.
to be, not really scary, but it does have some moments of like, what?
Yeah, it was just different. It was
Yeah.
a different... it was them trying to go in a different direction with horror. So
Mhm.
they were trying to come up with a new... Mike Myers trying to come up with something new. Well, I like new. I'll take new over remake, reboot,
Yeah. Now, did you see the second Jeepers Creepers?
Maybe I did. I might have fallen asleep again. I'll probably remember it if I see it. It's one of those.
With the kids on the bus. It's like all high school students on a school bus that basically get stranded on a back road. And one by one, their bus gets actually, their tires pop by the Jeepers Creepers.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And he picks who he wants to kill out of the kids, basically, and
Nice.
attempts to pick them off one by
I've never
one.
not wanted to be number one in my life.
But it actually starts off as on a farm with a father and his 2 sons, and one of his sons is just taken right out of the field by the Jeepers Creepers.
Oh.
And the father vows that he, in 23 years, he is going to kill Jeepers Creepers because he builds this huge...
gun. That's right.
that
Yeah,
huge
that's
gun.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Anyway, you should see both of them, I guess. I mean, if you want to. I mean, there's more than...
It's a 4. I gave it a 4.
And they, like I said, they're coming out with the newest one. So
Correct.
get caught up.
Okay, so we're gonna let's blaze over Saw really quick.
Really quick.
I mean, super this is like
It was a low budget movie.
yeah, James Wan like
They
this-
literally filmed the whole thing in one room.
yeah. It felt like it was in one room.
We basically have our two characters, which are Adam and Lawrence. They wake up in a filthy bathroom. They're chained. They're chained. They're trapped
They're
by the sadistic serial killer
They find out-
nicknamed Jigsaw.
They find out slowly that it was Jigsaw that put them up, and it was shoot, what is that dude's name? The guy from Princess Bride, Jason Hughes.
Yeah, Terry Lewis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he basically figures out that it's the Hacksaw Killer or the Jigsaw Killer, and
He figures out why
they're
he's there.
They're caught in one of his traps, and now it's just time to play the game.
They must complete his perverse puzzle to live.
Right.
So each of them have the opportunity to survive. Unfortunately, one of them lost his opportunity before he even knew he lost his opportunity to survive.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Which is like, burr, burr, burr. He was never going to survive.
Right.
Never.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. So they have to fight. They have to figure out the puzzles. So one puzzle leads to another. Puzzle leads to another.
Right. They find tapes. They find the tape player. They got to get the tape player. The tape player basically tells them about why they're there.
One finds a key. One finds a note.
Right.
They both find saws.
Right. The hacksaws that he finds, but there's also other stuff hidden in that bag that we find out later. And it just, like I said, I'm going to just totally glaze over this unless you want to talk more about it.
I was just going to say, we see Adam's character being shady, trying to withhold some of the puzzle pieces that he finds.
Right. How the game is, like, they're both in this situation, but they're, like, he's thinking more in a shiesty way of, like, I don't want to help you, I want to help myself.
Right.
He's totally selfish the whole time. And
right.
It just fucking drives you nuts, because the other guy's, like, being honest, and he gives him his wallet. And then,
right. Well, he's an oncologist, so he's actually thinking things through a little farther than our photographer, our Adam character, who is very spontaneous. Apparently, he is a private eye. It takes pictures of cheaters. Apparently, he was hired, we find out, by Lawrence's wife to follow him.
Yeah, it turns out his marriage is not good, and he's been banging.
Right.
He's been doing some dirties with some of his students.
Right.
So he has been not faithful, and he has popped him many a times. And it was kind of cool. This was cool, the filming for this. So for each character, if you'll notice, if you watch this again, so the doctor's camera is very still, and just because he's very he's thinking everything through and being calm.
Right.
Where the other guy it's a handheld that they shot it on to make it seem a little more twitchy.
I didn't even notice that.
I
had not even noticed that.
So they did that to reflect each person's personality and their mindset at that point.
Oh, okay.
So
all right. Well, that's cool.
So that was kind of cool.
I didn't even realize that, but
yeah, no, that was like one of those. I was reading about how they shot the movie. It was shot. They shot it in 18 days, I think they said. Just like, that's fucking insane.
That's crazy.
And they shot everything chronologically too to show the effects of this on each character. So it was like really cool finding out like little stuff like that. And, Tobin Bell being Jigsaw. They picked a really good guy. Like, he's totally believable.
So there's actually 3 people in the room. We forgot to mention that there's... They wake up, and they're both chained, but there is actually a dead body in the middle of the gross bathroom that they're in.
Yeah, he's blown his brains out. You'd think that's...
We totally forgot to mention that.
You just think he's a dead guy.
Right.
You come to find out later he's not just a dead guy.
So they're putting the puzzle pieces together, and somehow or another, one gets a cell phone?
So they found...
Lawrence's character gets a cell phone, and he finds out that his wife and daughter have been kidnapped.
All right. Well, the pictures. That first he threw that guy his wallet, and he saw the pictures of them tied up. Because remember, he was going to show pictures of his family. So, then that's when he got the phone call. And yeah, it was a pretty heart-wrenching phone call. He was totally tore up about it. That's when he starts really unraveling. I felt mentally he was really starting to lose sanity.
Yes.
He started to become very unstable.
Yes, because they can't figure out how to unlock, and they really start freaking out how to unlock themselves. They start freaking out. They start trying to saw the chains. And Lawrence's character decides, he's gonna saw off his foot.
Yeah, the end result is he's like, this isn't what
He needs to
wants.
save his wife and child. He needs to get out of this room.
He's
he
feeling
needs to
the
get.
guilt.
So he's committed to. He's cutting his foot off.
He's gonna cut his foot off.
Yes.
And so he goes to work at it, and it's pretty gruesome. Like I said, this was the start of the torture porn shit. That's like when Hostel got popular after this.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a pretty gruesome scene.
And we have the detectives. We haven't mentioned yet the detectives. Danny Glover's character, who's David Trapp,
Right.
and his partner, who have been trying to arrest the serial killer known as Jigsaw.
Right.
They're hot on his trail, but he's just obsessed.
Right. He's super obsessed. His entire house is filled with stuff about the murders and about the case.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, I don't think he's been a cop for a minute. Like,
right.
He's gone insane. Like,
yeah. He's not on the force.
Right. He's just on his own in
he's
his house,
a vigilante now.
Going crazy. And so that was kind of like a side story. I can't remember entirely how that tied into.
He is trying to find the wife and kid.
Right.
And he thinks that he's tracking Jigsaw, but he's not tracking Jigsaw.
Jigsaw.
Jigsaw actually has a partner in this one, and it is the Zeb, the nurse,
the orderly
that actually he met while his character, I guess, was
at the hospitals because he had a brain tumor, and that's when I told you he got misdiagnosed, and that's why in the second one, if you watch, I think it's the second one, they go into that where he goes and attacks those people, the people that misdiagnosed him, and all that shit. So,
right.
So yeah.
So yeah, that's how the detectives are mixing in here. So they are trying to.
But really, the whole story. I mean, it's totally secondary. That end of it, I just was so interested in their dynamic.
Yeah.
The two guys in the room, and just how it's slowly just disintegrated to where they didn't really want to help each other, but at the end, they really didn't want to help each other. At that point, he just wanted to get the fuck out. The guilt of him cheating and being shitty to his kid. That's what led him to cut his foot off.
Because he had to cut his foot off, but then he also had to kill Adam to get out. Right. He had to shoot Adam after he's cut his leg off. So, yeah, that was a really intense scene.
Right. He's like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I want to live. Like,
right.
He's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. He's like, I have to get out of here.
And then that's when Homeboy comes in. Zed comes in there, right? Doesn't Zed come into that room? Or Zed dies? Where does Zed go? You remember, like, Danny Glover gets shot while wrestling with him, and then he comes into the room. Mm-hmm. And we find out that Zed has the slow-released poison in him.
Right.
That's right. Oh, it's all coming back to me. All coming back to me now.
But then Danny Glover's character catches up to him, shoots him, he shoots him, right? And they both die.
Right.
They both die, leaving
the partner. And then the partner, Danny Glover's partner, he came down first after him. Mm-hmm. And fucking got blown away because of some trap that was set up. There was like 4 shotguns set up there, and he just got lit up.
Right.
He just got fucking lit up.
Oh my god, they all shot at his head at the same time.
Yeah, so he was gone. No hope for that dude.
No hope.
Danny Glover came downstairs. He was still bleeding, and somebody popped out, and he shot him, I thought. Or did they get out the door? I can't remember.
No, he didn't get out the door.
Yeah, no, he didn't. I meant the guy that he was trying to shoot at. Remember, didn't one of the guys get shot in the back? There was somebody in a black cloth that got shot.
It was probably Zep.
Yeah.
Zep then.
Oh,
because
yeah, probably was.
That was the only person he was following.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
From what I remember.
Not to give away too much with Saw, I don't want to, basically say the ending, because the ending is really good. We basically said that.
All right, that's it. That's all. So Saw. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. What do you give it? That's it. Boom, boom.
Yeah, I don't want to.
You don't want to say the ending?
I guess so.
Don't say it if you don't want to say it. I mean, we can say spoiler alert. We can say you can turn it off right here.
Okay, I'll say spoiler.
If you want to.
Yeah, okay, I'll say spoiler.
I don't care if you want to say it or not. I mean,
we could do it. Let's do it. Let's spoil it.
Lawrence's character with his 1 foot crawls out of the bathroom.
He says he's going to get him help.
Yeah, I thought you weren't going to say anything.
Well, no, I'm saying something. I wanted to spill the beans the whole time. Ugh.
So all that's left is, so we thought, right, was Adam's character, who we thought is dead, and the third party, who we don't know who the third party person is.
Right.
You say it. You say
but
it.
But he starts to get up.
The man who's been laying motionless for however long they've been in the bathroom stuck there.
Right.
Awakens.
He starts moving. Yeah.
And starts to peel the blood.
Yeah, his head wound that he prosthetically put on his head to make it look like he blew his brains out.
And who is it? It's Jigsaw.
It's fucking Jigsaw. Yeah.
It's the mastermind behind the whole thing.
Right.
He's been right there in the room with them the whole time.
Right. He did drug himself. He gave himself like some kind of a sedative that was going to be time released. It would wear off, I think, after a while. So he got up and he was hella groggy.
And what happened? Then our Adam character comes back too. He wasn't fully dead, and is just equally shocked that that Jigsaw was there and stood up and was alive.
Right. And he tried to pick up the gun, and it had no shots in it, so he couldn't even shoot him. And he was like, oh no. First thing he said, he got up and he was like, the keys for those chains.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
As Jigsaw was walking away, he does tell Adam, who's still stuck in the bathroom, that the keys are actually in the bathtub where we start the movie.
Where we see it go down the drain.
It goes down the drain.
It goes down the drain.
So that was his only hope. And he never had hope.
No. He was going to, he killed himself.
The lights get turned out. Jigsaw shuts the door.
Game over.
Game over.
Yeah.
Adam's character is left alive.
But somewhere where nobody's going to find him.
And he's shot. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just leaves with him screaming, like, please no, please no. And yeah. Can you imagine just being in a room?
Chained.
No
food.
With a foot. There's a
foot.
There's a foot.
There is a foot in there.
That's going to start necroting and getting nasty. That was foul. It was a great...
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Great first introduction. I would say probably a 7. Just because...
I would agree.
The gore factor was really good.
I would agree.
They picked a great guy in Tobin Bell to play Jigsaw. He was really good. It was just a good first incarnation of the movie, and then they progressively just did the same thing over and over again. It was just more.
And we see the creepy little doll on the little bike.
Yes.
Don't play.
I want to play a game.
That was pretty funny. So we both gave it a 7. That doesn't happen very often that we agree on our ratings of movies. So that's day. What day is that? That's day 22.
That is on the other page.
Day 23.
That takes us up to 23. So we have to do 24.
Yep.
Which is.
Well, I gotta find it. So, what do you like most about the Jigsaw movie itself? Like the premise, that why he is doing this. Yeah, what is his reasoning for doing?
Well, it puts it again. It's a different spin. It was like Jeepers Creepers. They went with a different kind of a villain.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a villain that you can almost kind of get behind, because he's like almost like a Dexter. Like he's like Dexter. He's taking the scumbags off the streets, but he's kind of doing it in his own way, in a killer way, and that's what he's doing. He's offering them choices. But they're fucked up, because it's kind of like, do you cut your nose off to spite your face, like kind of thing? Like,
right.
You have to really think about what you're doing.
Your choices.
Yeah, but he always gives you a choice. But it's there, and there was moral choices, and so it was just it was different. So I like that. About this series, is like they come at a different way. It's not a villain. It's something totally believable too.
Jigsaw. How many are there? How many Saw? Now there is Jigsaw, which I think was the latest one. It's called Jigsaw, but the rest are just called Saw, right? I don't know. I think there's like 7 or 8. I always want to say that 7, 6, 7 of them. God, I don't know.
It's 9.
9.
9 films. Yeah.
That might take you a week or so if you want to just binge it. So what we have next, day 24, The Ring, Creepshow, Friday the 13th, and Let the Right Ones In. Yeah, look for that video too, because it's going to be coming up. We're going to try to do a back-to-back. So, back-to-back.
Oh, man, I don't know.
Back-to-back.
Ow. No.
Thank you guys for watching.
Sorry,
and
Mom.
we will definitely... we'll be back in costume, I think. I think we decided that we are going to dress up for the next one.
To wrap out.
October. We can't believe it's going by so fast. I think by the time you guys see this video, it's actually day 28. So it's the 28th of October, actually, today.
Yeah.
And Halloween is just literally days away.
It's nuts.
We can't believe it.
I know. It was.
But we did do the pumpkin patch, and we did do pumpkin carving.
Yeah.
And I think we are going to try to do a little bit of fun, a little bit of partying, but not too much.
No, that would be tomorrow. Because she wants to go into town.
Ooh. Mama wants to go party.
Dressed up, I don't know.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.
All right. Peace out. Have a good one.
Bye.